So do you mind if I wing one completely for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Way back in the day, when the band was still called Flowers, I played a Les Paul Black Beauty, which is like this one here. This one's Paul Gildays. It's a much more modern thing. And the story about this guitar of mine was that we recorded the first album with it, the ICEHOUSE album, and then it was stolen from a gig, which broke my heart. Never did really get a replacement for it. But I know it's out there somewhere, so I'm going to tell you a bit about it, so that if you come across it, I'll buy it from you. Good money, no questions asked, and it's quite easily identifiable. So, I think I bought it from the lead guitarist of Air Supply, believe it or not, very early in the days. So I bought it in around about 1977. My reckoning of it is that it's probably very early 70s, possibly late 60s. And what you can do is, there's a serial number here on the back, up the top. Take a look at the serial number. You can go to the Gibson guitar website and you can actually identify the age of it. Now, being a young, foolish fellow, I didn't treat guitars with the respect that they deserve, and I now know that you should keep everything original. It's really important. But of course I didn't do any of that. I changed everything. I was trying to improve this guitar. So it originally came with, forget what the shape of them was called. What are the machine heads called, Ben?
Tulip buttons.
Came with those sorts of machine heads, and I changed them for Schaller. They'll have a big S on the back of them. I think they're gold. The hardware on this guitar is generally gold. I changed the bridge. It's gold. It looks similar, but it's a bit wider and it's a shallow bridge. I changed the tailpiece to a shallow tailpiece. It's gold. Criminal, really. I had it refretted, so I think originally it came with very fine frets, which I think were the style of frets that were on these guitars of that vintage back in the day. And so I think that it had slightly more jumbo, that's bigger size, frets on it. I changed the scratch plate. At one point it had a brass one on it. Then I changed it back, I think, to a black one, but goodness knows what it ended up with on it. And the original knobs were what was referred to as witches' hats. So you can imagine what a witch hat chopped off at the top would look like. So nothing like this, but I changed them to this style of knob. So this clear perspex cylinder, basically. However, the pickups are original. As far as I know, the actual pots themselves are original. I did one other very conspicuous thing too. If you have a look here, you'll see that on Les Pauls, this is where they hang the front strap knob. And what I did was, I didn't like the way that it hung down when I was playing it, because I'd have to wrap my hand right around it like this. So I actually drilled a hole in the back of it here and put the strap peg in there. And that means when you wear it, it slightly rocks forward, which is fine. You can still see the fretboard, but it's you don't have to bring your hand around. The most conspicuous thing about it, just to look at, it's got a lot of wear. The piping on it, of course, will be very aged, so it's very yellow. It was yellow even when I had it. Unlike this, beautiful new Paul Gilday type style guitar. But the most conspicuous thing is, on the back, obviously, somebody's belt buckle had worn away that particular spot. So it's a very conspicuous wear mark. It's got wear on it in other places too, but not that bad, I don't think. Anybody has that. It was last seen apparently by a guy who worked for us very briefly as a roadie, and he whispered to him one night and he said, "I know where that guitar of yours is out under somebody's bed in Fairfield." Now, that was a very long time ago, but I'd be happy to pay proper money for it. No questions asked. If anybody has any idea, please let me know.